Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Bills going up against the Ravens. With that, time to get up to Baltimore, Maryland, as I'm pleased to introduce our new broadcast team for 2016. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, for Madden, it's a new broadcast team. For the Ravens, it's natural grass on the field. That's what's different here as we welcome you inside M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. Today, the opener of the 2016 NFL season between the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. And partner, the Bills coming off a 500 season at 8-8. The Ravens, a season they'd like to forget, 5-11 last year.
That's not Ravens football, and they want to get back to playing at the level that they're used to, which is playoff caliber. What their head coach John Harbaugh said last year was like a cannonball to the gut. Then you flip it over to Buffalo, they haven't been to the playoff.
It's the dawn of a new era for us at EA Sports as the 2016 NFL season is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this will be a touchback, so a first chance here in week one to see the ball be brought out with the new rule to the 25-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And they will be led out by a young man, probably with some butterflies here. A lot of anticipation making his first NFL start. Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. And a look at the offense that is hoping to put some points up in bunches here in this one. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. They'll go again to McCoy. He juked him, and some room to work. He's at the 50, the 30, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, 74 yards, and the Bills have taken the early lead. And personally, what a start for him to get in the end zone from that distance here on the first drive.
And it has the defense tearing up their defensive goals for the game, doesn't it? Because nowadays, when we talk to all the coaches, they don't talk about limiting yards per carry and those things. They just talk about limiting explosive plays, whether it's through the air or on the ground. And anything an explosive play on the ground, usually, 10, 12-yard runs. This one was way more than that. They've got to go back to the drawing board and try and shut it down. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton. This is a young man who has a lot of quiet confidence in his abilities. He won't shout it from the rooftops, but if you ever talk to him, you sense it, and you start to get it. In fact, I asked him about his mobility, and he said, well, I did run for over 1,500 yards in college. That was an easy answer from him.
Now a play fake here on first down. He was looking to get it to Kenny Britt that time. And that'll bring up second down. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here. And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Another look for Dalton on second and 10. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And Tate's got it. A big 30-yard play on third. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Well, they just treated third and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some big space for the guy carrying the ball.
Dalton now to pass. Over the middle, complete to Tate. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And we take a look at the Bills' defense.
When it comes to Elvis Dumervil, just throw your tape measure right out. He fits none of the qualities that you're looking for in terms of height, weight, speed. But he gets to the quarterback and puts him on his back.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. The play clock's running down. On second down, here's Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. A 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Here's Darren McFadden. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. On to try the field goal now, Phil Dawson. From the left hash, this from 37. Off the corner, where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in a run game, no gain.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And the Bills' offense comes out ready to take over. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
When at his best, Orlando Scandrick is one of the top nickel cornerbacks in the NFL.
Second and 5.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop right there.
They'll look to throw here. Surveying the field. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Allen Bailey in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. They've got a 3rd and 10 here to start things out. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Kendall Wright, the intended target. And it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's a punter, Jeff Locke, to kick it away. Back deep, Golden Tate.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Reggie Ragland, the second rounder, there for the stop.
in order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
2 yards to go here on 3rd down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
So holding by the offense and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
And he will find his man. It's Kenny Brent. They get 14 yards there and a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Blue 10! Blue 10!
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
380! 380!
Play clock winding down. So Dalton now. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. It's complete. This is Brent Selleck. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. Time running out here on the play clock. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We're back to Baltimore after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our 1st half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy.
Now let's go! 3-19!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's 3rd down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time? Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. A first down throw coming for Dalton. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller. And that'll bring up second down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Play action now, Dalton. And his throw is incomplete. The veteran Brent Selleck, the one he was looking for. And that'll make it third down.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, balls out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
First and 10 for Dalton. Underneath for Miller. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now Dalton with a first and 10. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Every time I see a hitch pattern dropped, I go back to the combine because there's a drill that they use all the time that's called the gauntlet drill, where a receiver catches the ball and just works his way straight down the line and catches it from different sides. And the problem with that drill is that you don't actually have to secure the catch. You just kind of catch it, drop it immediately, and keep moving. And sometimes that shows up on plays like this.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Dawson's kick is good. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. Both teams have had their moments so far today, and that's why we have a tight game on our hands. We'll have to see if either side can take control in the second half. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Early in quarter one, McCoy is going to use solid blocking to break free, and this long run goes for a touchdown. The Bills strike first in this one. Third down from the 26. The pass is completed into tight coverage, and the play will come to an end after a gain of 30. Ravens would stall out, settle for a field goal. Third down at the 39. The quick pass and completion is made, and he'll be tackled at the 46-yard line. However, they would come away empty-handed on the drive. Ravens take over late in the second. Dalton's on target on the slant, and he'll be tackled at the 46-yard line. We're set up for a great second half, so let's get you out to it. Here's Brandon Godden.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Second down following the run. Miller, the lone setback. So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Miller. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And Dalton to throw. And bringing it in, this is Selleck over the middle. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves to James. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch. One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's
Golden Tate's gonna go. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Golden Tate, 52 yards. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he's going to be out of bounds across the 50. Great return.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive. And we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Let's go! Green, 39! Green!
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. That is caught at the 7. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let them know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play. Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Here we go. Green, 39! Green, 39!
They'll try and run it with McCoy. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Brandon, now we find out what their definition of commitment is. They've run it on the first 2 plays. Do they come back and do it again? They're that much closer to getting into the end zone.
Yeah, inching closer and really knocking on the door now. So now 3rd and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Adam Thielen taking it in. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. And now we're all even. Brand new ball game, tie game.
In a sense, you're starting over. Tie ball game, everyone's back to even, back to equal. A good job getting back in it.
Franks to add the PAT. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because and they take him down. The Bills get to him. It's the former Patriot Pro Bowler, Chandler Jones, able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Yeah, they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. Play fake. Here's Dalton. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
This is fielded at the 27. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. One man in the backfield. That's McCoy. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. And it's 2nd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go. 3-19.
And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. Finding time. And he comes back with one complete. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Again, it's McCoy. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Dequan Jones in on the tackle there. 3rd down now following the run.
Let's go. Green, 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got time. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that 1st down pass.
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And ready now for 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. 1 man on the backfield. That's McCoy. Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down, but they are in field goal range already. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. And the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd down.
Could be a blitzer.
A give to McCoy. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And Frank's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
Danny Amendola on the return. Oh, nice move. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He'll look to throw. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 15 yards there for number 15. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it. And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
They'll look to throw. Holmes has got it complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. He's back to throw. And Tate's got it. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Back to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. Oh, the spin. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So a pressure spot now for Phil Dawson. This to potential. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Well, the entire 2015 season featured no ties in the National Football League, but we get one here in the 2016 season, don't we?
Yeah, and it's really odd because to go through the whole time and not have that happen, because teams tend to get a little more conservative at times when you get to overtime. That's why the ties often result. But as you said, in 2015, not at all. But here we are here. Have one going.
By the way, the last tie, if you're scoring with us at home, and if you are, God bless you. October 2014, the Bengals and the Panthers in Cincy, they tied 37 apiece.
Did you have that one yourself, or did you get that one from Marvin?
No, I was taking a nap. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Let's go, D. Let's go. Ready. Blue 10. 59. Blue 10.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now Dalton. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this 3rd down play.
Yeah, they're going dime. So Dalton now. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt, in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Here comes LaShawn McCoy as he trots back out there now. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half, but let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with
Oh, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, Neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. With 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. To the right side, caught by Salek. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They'll run with Miller. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A nickelback added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Dalton, and this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Now the Bills will take another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Again, it's Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. J.J. Watt there on the tackle for a loss. Of course, last year's Defensive Player of the Year.
And we love saying his name, don't we? J.J. Watt. How about all that production, too? 29 tackles for loss in 2015.
And 2nd place only at 23.
Offense.
So this thing is all going to come down to the right foot of Phil Dawson. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the whole way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for Baltimore, they needed overtime to do it, but they get the Week 1 victory thanks to the field goal. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.